Welcome to Greg and Mortis's Little World of Horror. This is my Slash from the Stash movie review for this week. It's Sunday, August the 3rd. Very excited to be bringing a movie to you this week as well. Hope you've been enjoying the Slash from the Stashes. As I said, my very first one I done about a month ago. I will be doing these every week. I know I've had some people ask me to review certain movies, and I will get to those in each and every one of them. But keep in mind, as I said on my first one, I will only review movies that I physically own in my collection. So if there's a movie you want me to review, if I don't own it, give me a little time. I'll go hunt it out, pick it up, and then do a review on it. So I'm not doing any movies that, that I'm renting off a Redbox or that I've seen on TV. It'll only be movies that's in my collection, thus the name Slash from the Stash. So with that, this week's episode, I was kind of debating on what to review, but felt like I would do this one. I just watched it a couple hours ago, so hopefully it's still fresh on the mind. But I'm very excited to show it. It's from 2013, and it's called Fright Night Part 2, The New Blood, and this is the unrated Blu-ray version. Has the Blu-ray DVD combo. I've had this one. I've sat on this one for a little while. Bought this one, I can't remember, maybe a couple months ago or so. And the inside of it here, you got your Blu-ray disc here and one of them ultraviolet codes. And then there's your DVD and digital copy there. But basically, I've sat on this for a little while, decided, hey, I'm in a kind of vampire-y style mood. Why not check it out? I do own the remake, the first Fright Night remake, and this one was with Colin Farrell. And this was the Blu-ray DVD 3D combo. I do not own a 3D player. I'm eventually going to get a 3D TV and 3D player, but anyways, that was a slipcover case. This is a really cool, I love the slipcover on the Fright Night Part 1. It's got kind of that wild front end to it and that, but I know a lot of people hated on this one. I really enjoyed this remake. It's nothing like the original Fright Night by any means. The original to me is a classic that cannot be touched. Just an excellent movie. But for what it was, the remake of Fright Night, I enjoyed it. I thought the acting was really well done, the graphics. Other than that cheesy vampire, where Colin Farrell's mouth would open like that, and his mouth was that huge, ridiculous. But other than that, I really enjoyed that. So with Fright Night Part 2, I've got to say straight up, this is a totally different film. With that, what I'm saying is you didn't have to see any Fright Nights to watch this one. This is more of a standalone movie. Yes, you have Charlie Brewster in it. Yes, you have Evil Ed in it. Yes, you have Peter Vincent in it. But they make, to me, someone I think on IMDb or something said they make reference to the first one. I never saw it. But there's really no tie-ins whatsoever to the movie. This is basically, to me, a Fright Night remake that is took in a different avenue, if that makes sense. So for me, this one shouldn't be called Fright Night Part 2. It should be called Fright Night, the remake, or Fright Night, a re-imaging, or whatever. But with that, the characters in it, Charlie Brewster was played by Will Payne. Peter Vincent's played by Sean Power. Let's see who else we got in there. Amy Peterson, which is Charlie Brewster's girlfriend, but in this one she's ex-girlfriend, is played by Sasha Parkinson. Evil Ed is played by Chris Waller, W-A-L-L-E-R. And then the main chick on the front cover of this is a character by the name of Jerry Dandridge, and she's played by Jamie Murray. You would recognize Jamie right away. You can't really tell by the cover, but you would recognize her right away if you watch TV. She's been in a lot of TV shows. But anyways, the movie itself is set in Romania, and it was directed by Eduardo Rodriguez. And it's a decent watch. I gotta say, it's good. It's got some pretty good effects in it, some pretty decent gore. It's not as good to me as the Fright Night, It's definitely not as good as the original Fright Night, but as a standalone film, it's not bad. If you're a vampire fan, if you're like, because I'm a slasher kind of guy. I love slasher movies. But at the same time, I like zombies. I like all genres, subgenres. But if you love straight up vampire flicks, this is not a bad watch. I actually enjoyed it pretty well for what it was. But basically, the character Jamie Murray plays, Jerry Dandridge, she's a professor in Romania, and these high school students with Charlie and Evil Ed and Amy, and there's some other cast members, but they're just really like fill-ins. It's mainly just these few characters that are involved in this movie. But basically what happens is Charlie notices in the hotel or whatever they're staying in one night when they first get there, he notices in a window the main professor chick and this other chick like making out in bra and panties out, next door, and he's watching them, and then he notices blood coming down the one girl's back, and and then the Jerry character, the main chick Jamie Murray, looks at him and starts smiling. So right away Charlie's like, something's not right, and of course he's going to his best friend Evil Ed, and he's trying to tell him, something's wrong and that, and Evil Ed's like, you're crazy. So it's one of them setups. It's just a typical, vampire flick. I don't want to give a whole lot away detail-wise because I think it might spoil some of it. But the Peter Vincent character he has the show like the original, and even in the remake, he's got that Fright Night thing, but this time it's more like a webisode, and it's a little bit, when you watch it, it's more like Ghost Hunters or Paranormal Investigators. It's kind of that kind of Peter Vincent Fright Night thing. And there is a bonus feature on here where you can watch the webisodes. I think there's 4 or 5, maybe 6 different like minute webisodes you can watch. Haven't watched the commentary or listened to the commentary or anything, but I did watch those. But overall, I mean, there is some full-on female nudity from head to toe, so I will warn you, if you're against that, you're not going to like this. There is that in it. There's a lot of blood, especially there's a pool, like a swimming pool full of blood, and a bathtub full of blood that some people take and get kind of drowned, or not really drowned, but they're in it, so you got that. Nothing new with this movie. Everything that was in this movie has been done before, so it's not like this is a unique film. It's not like it's an original. There's definitely hints of other movies in this one, so it kind of like borrows from different genre movies, subgenre movies. So for originality, it's not an original film. The acting is decent. The character of Evil Ed, I didn't care for him like I do Stephen Jeffries from the original. Chris Waller, I thought he'd done okay, but he just, to me, doesn't fit that Evil Ed. But there again, I've said this a million times, you're comparing a movie with another movie, which you really shouldn't technically do. But for Evil Ed character, I like the way Stephen Jeffries played it in the original. This one, not so much. The chick that played Amy, the main little girl, or the main teenage girl, played by Sasha Parkinson, she was okay, good actress, but overall, I mean, the acting's just kind of, it's there. It's like subpar, average, not a stellar acting of any means. But there again, you do get the whole vampire effect where you got biting going on, stakes to the heart, lots of blood, which you should have in a vampire flick. It's an entertaining film, I gotta say. I actually am not that disappointed with it. There's the back of it again. It does have a few CGI hokiness things going on to it, but nothing that really took me away. There is some cable work in this where some bodies are being thrown about, back and forth. There's a few times that I caught, like where you could see, not the ropes themselves, they definitely took those out, but you could actually see a couple times where you could see where the coat was being pulled. So just some little quirks like that. But overall, if you are a vampire fan, I think you would enjoy this one. Don't go in expecting, Oscar nominations. Don't go in expecting it to be as good as the original Fright Night. But if you just want an entertaining vampire flick, I think it's okay for that. So overall, do I give this? I don't give like a 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 rating. I give you a thumbs up if it's a purchase. I give you a side one for rental and a down one for avoid. With this one, for straight up hardcore vampire fans, I think I would give you a purchase. For average horror fans that just like to watch horror, I kind of give it a side view rental. But even on the purchase side of this, don't pay more than $5 to $10 for this movie. If it's more than $10, wait till it drops. I promise you this movie will eventually be in the $5 bin if it's not already. At like Walmart or something, this one will drop in price eventually. So hold off a little longer. If you can't wait to watch it, I think it might be on Netflix. I'm not sure, but find a way to watch it via Redbox if they have it, or Netflix. But if you can find it for $5, $10 is max on purchase on this thing. Go ahead and buy it. Add it to your collection. I wish I had the slipcover case to this, because like I said, I do have the cool slipcover case for the remake of Fright Night that I love, man. I just absolutely love that case, man. It's just so amazing. But for this one, I'll definitely maybe try to find a slipcover for that as well. But with that, that's my rating. That's my review. It's Fright Night Part 2. Give you another close-up there of the cover. Mwah. Any other movies you guys or gals want me to review, definitely hit me up. You can message me or comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Definitely share it. I don't know what I'll have in store next week. I might be going ahead and doing the 3rd volume of my collections as far as my figures. Definitely have a contest I got to do a video for. That'll be coming up soon. And I'm actually debating, I don't know, trying to mix some things up, but I'm trying to debate on possibly doing maybe my full Blu-ray collection. I might be doing a video of that soon. I don't have a ton. I probably only have a couple hundred Blu-rays, probably 220 right now. Trying to build that collection up, so I may show that off in a couple videos. I don't know yet. But whatever you want us to do here, hit me up, let me know. Say, hey, Greg and Mortis, I'd like to see you do this, or I want to see you do that. Hit me up, and I'll definitely try to make that happen. But with that, it's Sunday, August 3rd. This is my Slash from the Stash. Appreciate you tuning in. Definitely subscribe. You can follow me at Land of the Creeps. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter. I'll have all the links down below. So with that, this is me signing out for another Slash from the Stash from my little world of horror. Until next week. Peace!